Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Bossfish Network. I'm your host, and I'm excited Eddie. Joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward. How are you? Are you ready to play your PlayStation on your Nintendo Switch 2 sometime in the near future?
I'm already in the process of writing a better.
Why? This is so stupid.
No. So this is the thing about it, and I messaged David in our writing chat, and I told him, I'm just like, this is so funny that so many gamers wanted Nintendo to go like do third party stuff because of the Wii U, and now it's just like not Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony is doing the third party route, not fully being Sega, but like, what's going on? I remember like gamers wanted Nintendo games on those other consoles because Nintendo would never be successful or reach the height as Microsoft and Sony. And now the tides are turning and Microsoft is putting their games on Nintendo, and soon Sony party might start putting games under Nintendo.
I don't think it's what everybody thinks with Sony. That's all I'm saying. I don't need to go into it, but I think their strategy is much different than Microsoft's. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, it's mostly why this change? Microsoft, I know.
Because
I
they spent. I mean, Sony spent $6 billion on Bungie or $3 billion. They had a massive failure in Concord. They are having a massive, really interesting time with Marathon. Destiny, Edge of Fate, as good as I think it is, launched with a third of the players of the Final Shape. And from some things I've heard about the other one, Fair Games, that's not good either, apparently, from what I've heard. So
well, definitely with Sony's live service ideal of gaming hasn't worked out. It's a complete failure and everything. So of course they're going to be relying on a lot of the single player campaign stuff like Ghost of Yotai, Intergalactic, stuff like that. They're going to hopefully rely on. I think my thing is it's just, and of course Microsoft with their business thing, like we discussed that as many times. It's just like with the Sony stuff, it's amazing to see that they're returning back to some of their roots when they were putting some of their games on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and Sega CD. So it's like you can still have your first party stuff, but then merge with your third party ideas of gaming to put on other platforms. Not like I said, not fully being Sega, but like being able to put games that you made on other platforms to gain revenue, to recuperate money for the budget that they use for that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people are overthinking this. Games cost a lot of money, and they look, when you sell a game for $70 and you sell 10 million units, that's only $700 million, which is, sure, it's a nice chunk of change if your game costs 250 million, but then you double that budget for marketing purposes and 70-30 split if you're funding a second party game, right? Like like Death Stranding or what's the other one, Stellar Blade, and those types of things. Or like, there's a finite amount of money to be made, and a lot of that money isn't even made on a large chunk of your money. What is it? What's the split? Something like It's something like 40% of the money you're going to earn on that game comes in the first week, and then then they depend on like sales and stuff, right? Or
Right.
I think it's a little bit higher than that first week, maybe, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like Spider-Man is only going to make so much money, right? Before before they just can't make any more money off of it, right? To the point where like, and that's like an even bigger example because they have to split that money with Marvel too. So
yeah,
if any of their first party stuff or any of their single player stuff's coming over, it's going to be that, in my opinion, something like that where, the budget on that game was $320 million and they barely made their money back on it. As well as that game sold, they barely made their money back on it.
Which I'm assuming that's why the PC release is needed.
Well, I mean, they're doing that with a lot of their first party games though, right? I mean,
yeah.
And that's clearly not eating into their console fan base, in my opinion.
Which is also, with Microsoft, getting their games on Steam.
Yeah, but they've been doing that for 12, 15 years at this point.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, to recuperate those budgets and everything. Because I think when PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox came out, they're going to have to include PC maybe day one because of how much these games going to cost or and everything to get that budget back.
Yeah, I think the PC later release is less novel now than it was. I just think it was novel to have a PlayStation game on a non-PlayStation console, right? But now, it's becoming less and less of a surprise, right? I mean, even Helldivers, right? That's the next one that you can kind of circle coming everywhere, right? I mean, I would assume it's going to come to Switch 2 at some point as well. I mean, I don't really care if it does or not, but I think if it's coming to Xbox, it'll come to Switch 2. I think that'll be part of the next Nintendo Direct, honestly, because Nintendo wants to have those announcements. Which is why we don't have anything confirmed from Microsoft yet on Switch 2, except for Grounded 2, I think, is the only one.
Actually, no. I was looking that up. Grounded 2 is not confirmed yet. Because it's early. Yeah, it's early access on when it comes to Series X, and then later on it's gonna get a full release, and then it may come to other platforms. I think for a lot of us, and we'll definitely get into this in Family News. It's Call of Duty and that 10-year deal. It's the thing that most people are looking forward to. But if that of this latest Call of Duty that got announced this year is not coming to Switch 2, then it has that. I don't know when that deal is going to actually start and kick in.
I mean, I think the Call of Duty thing on Switch is going to be weird, regardless, just because it's. I mean, man, I don't know how to even try to. The thing is, though, is like Call of Duty still comes with PS4 and Xbox One, right? So like. Right, I think the last ones came out there, right? Or was this the first generation? Or was this the first year they skipped?
First year they skipped. Because when the next one comes out, it's only for Series X, PC, and PlayStation 5 and Series S.
Yeah, which also funny. The PlayStation 5 added a Series S mode to its base console.
They did?
That energy saving mode is essentially like it's essentially a Series S spec mode.
I did not know that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, yes, I bought this console so my games would run worse.
But me and my nephew, we were I was taking him to work and we was talking about like he mentioned, games are expensive, and I'm just like, well, I'm like, Nintendo has only done two $80 games, which is Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch 2 edition and Mario Kart World. That's the only kind of $80. Everything else has been like 60 or 70.
Mario Party's 80.
The Jamboree one?
Mm-hmm. And so is Kirby is 80. And there's one other one that was 80.
Is that for the upgrade packs?
Mm-hmm. Like with the Kirby's 80 because it's $59.99, and then it's $20 for the upgrade pack if you own it already because it comes with the expansion.
Oh, okay.
And so was it's the same thing with Mario Party Jamboree. Is the upgrade pack is the Jamboree TV pack is $20. So and the game is $59.99. So
okay. So then that's this is the Switch 2 version release, right? Oh no, well, Kirby is just the upgrade. Because I don't think that
Kirby has the expansion with it,
but they don't have a Switch 2 version of it. Like you can buy off a cart. That's what I was asking.
But there's no Switch 2 version of Mario Party either, unless you get the upgrade pack.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, they have there's improvements on the Switch 1 version if you play it on Switch 2, but that's just because that's just naturally how a more powerful console will treat those games. But
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know.
Because like Tears of the Kingdom being like 70 on a regular Switch and stuff, yeah, that was kind of their most expensive game, but you see how big that game was and everything. So, we'll see just what happens in the future. But I'm my better is just it's more about players viewing Nintendo as less because of one console, and so because of that, they should be the ones that should sacrifice their business and put their games on other platforms.
Yeah, but the industry has changed so much since then. It's not even.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's the same type of argument.
Yeah, but I think it's just a reminder of that. Just because there's a particular system that is, that doesn't play the number game or anything like that, that it doesn't mean that company is not going to be successful, continuing. I'm just like, Nintendo has many avenues. Plus, during the Wii U era, 3DS was like killing it. Like you go through
not initially.
But not initially, but like during that era, I'm like, the Fire Emblem series, the Monster Hunter series, just the different versions of the game of the 3DS hardware coming out. Like Nintendo still had money coming in, I should say.
Well, they weren't going broke by any stretch,
right? But people think because from a console perspective that if that console fails, Nintendo was doomed. And it really wasn't like that. I'm just like...
Well, that's because Nintendo doesn't operate that way. They never have, right? I mean, you look at some of these other, especially third-party studios, where they operate basically where, like, if this game fails, we're shutting you down. Like,
right.
And that's like... the Ubisoft situation is, like, really boggling my mind right now. Like... I don't even know how any of this is legal, but it is, and here we are.
I just learned about that Ubisoft one, which we might talk about later. I had to figure it. I had to hear it on a different podcast and be like, "Wait, what's going on with Ubisoft? Huh?"
Yeah, I mean, we knew they were doing this, but like, it's just so like.
To tell you the truth, Corey, I didn't know they were doing this.
We talked about it on the show like 20 episodes ago.
I don't remember.
It was like in February. We were talking about it.
Oh, that's probably why.
February's too far back for Ed to remember.
Well, it was a cold winter day. Well, actually, no, because we had the weirdest winter. Like, we barely had snow this year. I was just like, I'm still coming out this month with a hoodie. Why is it 59 degrees? Why does it feel like Hawaii? What's going on? Mother Earth. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's a better that's like forming in my mind that I want to write. It's just the change of ties in the business of gaming.
Yeah, it's something.
So
I don't know. It's I don't know. We'll talk about it more, I guess, when we get there, because I have other thoughts on this PlayStation thing that I think people are just kind of, I don't know.
Yes, because I think the PlayStation news just kind of came out of nowhere, in a sense.
But it hasn't. If people have been paying attention to things, sorry. Continue.
Well, yeah.
I said that out loud.
Of course,
I shouldn't have. People just need to pay better attention. Anyways, continue.
No. Well, let's get into this housekeeping. This is Nintendo Pow Block, the Nintendo podcast for Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network. We record each and every episode live on Twitch, YouTube, X/Twitter every Saturday night. So come hang out, be a part of the conversation in the live chat, and give us a follow while you're there. If you'd like to support Boss Rush, you can check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can gain early and exclusive access to content like the Nintendo Pow Block One-Up Patreon show and Expression Pass. Become a Patreon producer and more. As always, if you can't support us financially or join us live, your listenership and viewership is enough for us. Subscribe to Boss Rush on YouTube and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review or a comment. It will help with discoverability and growth. New episodes post every Monday morning on podcast apps, YouTube, and our website on bossrush.net, where you can also find our daily betters, reviews, listicles, and more. Corey, do you have any announcements?
So my Destiny Edge of Fate review is out. You can go check that out. So we just recorded a spoiler cast for Clay Obscure Expedition 33 with CG Danny B, Professor Stocky, and our old friend Stoy. So you can check that out. Pat and I recorded that with them. A written review it's actually done. What I've been doing is reformatting it to fit the video into this. Which I
gotta say, because I know you texted me this early. I love the intro and the people individually coming in saying their pieces. I was just like, oh, this is so good. This is so top tier. I was just yeah.
It took me a little bit to edit it, but I feel like it turned out okay. StreamYard doesn't really offer a lot of the features I wish it did, honestly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't the audio is really bad when you get more than 4 people on. Like, my audio sounds terrible, and I double checked the file. I was using this microphone the entire time.
Weird.
So I don't know, man. I wish StreamYard was better, especially because it's more expensive than every other program that does the same thing. But people at work talk so highly about it that, I thought it would be worth using. And I don't know. It's I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. So that's out. And then I have 2 other reviews that I've been kind of sitting on for a while. mostly because I wanted to capture stuff and do a video review for them too. But my capture card has been so crappy. And so I don't know if I'm going to get to do a video review. Maybe I'll just do it after. But Hellblade and Hellblade 2, I have reviews for those. The thoughts are down. I just need to make it sound better, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Yeah.
For me, everybody, I just submitted my interview for Endless Nights, The Darkness Within, to our copy editor. This is an interview that I did with Tom Frenso, at Little Guy Games, at PAX East. I'm catching up now finally with my PAX stuff, so I'm trying to get all of those interviews out, and then wait for the stuff for PAX West to come in, because I haven't got any invites for appointments and stuff or anything, so I'm waiting for that. I am definitely excited to go to the Nintendo booth at PAX West and see what they have there, which, depending during that time, we may be getting a Nintendo Direct, but I think we'll get one in August. And we may see some stuff there, because if anything, Corey, PAX West with Nintendo being there, everybody's going to be looking for Metroid Prime Beyond.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like if they don't have a playable demo just even on Switch 2, it's going to be at PAX West. And definitely like media hour is going to be packed. So I'm just like, yeah, I got to head there in the morning, so I can get in and get some time playing it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we should be getting one soon.
Yes.
I mean, what are they? I mean, we don't really know what their fall looks like, except for what do we got? I guess Kirby's Air Riders doesn't have a release date yet.
You're right, because I think that one is still in development.
Well, yeah, but they said it would be out this year.
I know Final Fantasy VII Remake is, I think that's December.
Well, they haven't announced a release date for that either.
Right.
The thing for me, it's like, okay, let's these games need release dates now, right? I mean, we know what's here. I mean, they can't wait till September, can they? I mean, Pokemon's coming out when?
Because I think they just announced it in that Direct.
I think Pokemon is coming out I think it's coming out in September or October. Maybe it's October. But I don't really remember. I didn't watch Pokemon.
October 16, 2025.
So, I mean, I guess we technically know everything through October, so they could technically wait till September to tell us stuff. But like, you really want to wait till September to tell us stuff? I don't know. I mean, we say that we do this every time there's a rumor direct, and we want to direct, and Nintendo makes us wait, and then we just, I don't know. We're just too impatient.
Did Professor Layton get delayed to next year?
No, that doesn't have a release date either yet, though.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, a lot of level 5 games got pushed back. I think to like next year and stuff, because they didn't do Rain Code, I think. But some of their games that got shown and announced, because like their soccer game that they showed ended up getting delayed to like next year, I think. So yeah, level 5 is not worried about them, but it's just like a lot of your stuff is getting delayed, and I wonder why. I think Capcom only has Pragmata and Onimusha, but that's for like PlayStation and Xbox, I think.
I mean, they have Resident Evil 9 and Monster Hunter DLC. So
yes, but
I mean, those are 4 pretty big things. Ed. I don't know why you're saying only.
because they're not on the Nintendo Switch 2. They haven't been playing
Not yet.
for those systems.
Not yet.
Because they got another Capcom fighting game, don't they? Or did that one come out yet? I think that one came out.
I mean, there's a fighting collection that came out recently, I think.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I don't know.
So yeah, we just like right now for third party, we don't know. I think
plus like
Madden.
Well, we know a lot of third party games are coming, right? And we know Madden's coming out day and date with the Xbox and PlayStation versions. Borderlands 4 is coming out a week later, I think. 2 weeks later. We don't know Final Fantasy, we don't know Elden Ring, we don't know let me see what's
Borderlands 4 is September 12th, 2025.
Nope, that's the other versions. Those are the other versions. The Switch one's not coming out till October, the first week of October.
Oh, it got
Yeah, they said they were releasing the Switch version at a later date.
Nintendo Switch 2 on October 3rd. Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder why.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I know Daemon X Machina, the new one, is supposed to be in September.
Yeah, let's see here. So third-party games. So we don't know. I mean, 007 First Light's coming out next year.
Yeah.
But let's see here. I just looked up third-party games for Switch 2, and I'm only going to talk about the meaningful ones. The Atelier Riza trilogy is getting a Switch 2 upgrade, or upgrade trilogy in PlayStation 5, so I don't know if anybody really cares about that hasn't played it already. So Daemon X Machina, September 5th. Disgaea 7 is getting a Switch 2 upgrade pass, or update. I don't know if it's getting a pass or not, but it doesn't have a date yet. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are coming in October. The Dusk Bloods doesn't have a release date yet, although it says 2026 probably. So FIFA has a release date. That's September 26th. Madden has a release date. It's August 14th. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition does not have a release date. It says TBD 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy Life is out.
Dust Bloods is next year, I think.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you said Elden Ring. Oh. What?
Farming Simulator Signature Edition does not have a release date yet. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Man, GameSpot, you're wrong. It says the game is already out. It says June 5th.
Oh, no.
GameSpot, you're wrong, guy. Final Fantasy Tactics, September 30th.
Okay.
Full Metal Schoolgirl. I don't know what that is. Actually, it looks like something you would play. October 23rd. Man, this is a long list. Hades 2, TBA 2025.
Yeah, I have a feeling Hades probably going to drop in September or October, because that's the same time the first one did.
Mm-hmm.
When it dropped those Switch in September. Yeah,
Silksong says TBA, no date, but we know that it's coming this year because of Xbox. If we believe what Microsoft says, it will be out before the ROG Xbox Ally X.
Yes.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment has a winter 2025 release date. So let's see, Kirby, Kitsugami's out.
Which I probably feel like that be November, I think, with Hyrule.
there are two new the remake of the first Trails game, and then a second Trails game is coming out this year, I guess. Little Nightmares, October. And there are games on this GameSpot list listed on here 2 and 3 times. Madden is on here 3 times. Man. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Man, there are a lot of games on this list. I don't even know what half these games are.
That Splatoon spinoff.
That's next year, though.
That's next year. Okay.
I think they already confirmed it's next year.
Next year.
I like how they're calling it a spinoff when it actually looks more like a real game than Splatoon does. And I don't mean like Splatoon isn't a real game, but I mean like it looks like a game kids would play today, like a survival kind of let's go figure it out. Wouldn't it be funny if that, like, you know how people are trying to break into the extraction shooter type genre or whatever?
Yeah.
What if Nintendo made the best one with Splatoon Raiders?
I you know what? To be honest with you, Corey, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I wouldn't either. It would just be funny because so many people have been trying to break in, and Nintendo's just like, "Oh, here's an experiment with Splatoon. Maybe it'll work. If not, we'll just make Splatoon 4 and be done with it."
And then it'd be like 2 million in sales. Be like, oh. But then everybody's going to start picking apart that game and trying to figure out, okay, what works and what doesn't, and how do we steal it?
Maybe they need to, because whatever they're doing isn't working now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of games we still don't know clearly the release date for. That Sonic Racing game has a release date, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we could keep doing this forever. Let's just move on. We'll talk about all this later. There's a lot. Basically, there is room for a direct, I guess, is what we're saying. The long-winded route of saying.
And with Nintendo being hush, I think that's going to make us once again excited for the direct. Because I know people get let down and stuff with like some of the recent directs. They're like, it's okay, but I think there's still excitement just to see what gets announced, what's get upgraded, and what's coming.
Sure.
Especially with like the GameCube stuff, like we still got a lot of games that's supposed to be coming, and then like out of anything, of course, the next Mario game, the Monolith Software, whatever they're working on, and shoot, dude, if they just say, here you go, here's the last story, here's Pandora's Tower, I'll be like, wait, what? give me now.
Yeah, I mean, look. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about ports again because I just put them all on Switch. Who cares? Especially, I don't know, man. I'm so worried about like everything now. It just,
oh no.
I feel like Nintendo's the only safe spot right now.
Pretty much at this point in time, pretty much
in Steam, I guess. But, anyways,
it's so weird how Epic Games just have fell off. The Epic Games Store.
I mean, it never caught on. Nobody wants the Epic Game Store. That's the thing. That's why.
I was just saying that mug was like in the news when that service came out. But
well, it's because they were using Fortnite money to fund this store, and they were the only kind of place to maybe take Steam on, right? And they clearly didn't, because Steam's been around for 20 years, and people are so embedded in that ecosystem that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Corey, how about we get into Snacktendo?
I don't want to.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Snacktendo.
Oh. Okay.
What have you been snacking on?
I thought you said Snacktendo.
That's something you would do to me.
Yeah. Usually want to, but I can't. So.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing exciting. You ever like? I don't know, man. I've sometimes, especially recently, I've had these weird feelings of, man, I just feel like I've eaten way too much in a short amount of time, and I just feel fat.
Mm.
You know, I just feel fat, and I'm not like, you know, whatever. I don't know. I just feel like I've eaten way too much, and then I try to like slow it down, but then I like food too much, and then everything just happens, and it's just, I don't know. I like food. Food is good. But I've eaten too much, Ed. I've eaten way too much lately, and today is one of those days where I just feel fat. You know, like I woke up, I had my normal 2 eggs and some wraps, right, and a banana.
Mm-hmm.
It was later than normal. And we bought a new bed, so like we were kind of not going out today at all, really.
Yeah.
And so like I'm waiting for this bed to arrive, and I don't know, I got kind of bored, so I started eating because I was bored, which is never the right answer either. So after I ate lunch at like, so I ate breakfast at like 10:30, and I ate lunch at like 2:00. My wife didn't eat lunch, and she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "I am not thinking about dinner. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not really that hungry." And she's like, "Well, I didn't eat lunch, so I'm hungry." So we ended up eating. And I had Chipotle, and it was, don't get me wrong, it was very good, but I just feel like I ate way too much, and I feel gross. Chipotle is still good though. I don't know if you knew that or not. Chipotle is good.
Yeah.
But nothing like super exciting. You know, just kind of doing whatever. So,
Okay.
you know, so food's good though. I like food. Food delicious.
Yes. Well, for me, had the Pull and Peel Cherry Twisters this week. Actually went to a place called Noodles and Company. I don't know if you heard of it, Corey. I don't know if it's a kind of restaurant brand.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
I do have I do have something to tell you though, Ed.
Yes.
There's so apparently down south, and maybe LeRon knows what it is. I don't know. But apparently there's like this really, you just reminded me because you asked me if we had this place around here, but don't have that. But apparently there's a type of mayonnaise, Ed, called Duke's mayonnaise that everybody in the South really loves and swears it's better than like any other mayonnaise out there. And Aldi has it now. And I almost bought some, but I didn't. I chickened out. I did not buy it, but the next time I go, I might buy some.
I have a Aldi's like 10 minutes from me, so I might see if my Aldi's carry it, pick it up, and get some Jersey Mike's and try it on there. There's a Jersey Mike's right by that Aldi's. Probably by like 3 minutes, not too far. Duke's mayonnaise, yeah.
So it's like a yellow-ish jar type thing, like this was like one of those
squeeze bottles
that kind of go upside down, but like it was like this huge thing, which is another reason why I didn't get it, because it just felt like I was gonna need to feed like an entire army with this bottle. You know, but it people swear by it, so
all right. Well, then
have to try it at some point, I guess. Anyways, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no. Well, Noodles and Company, it's a place that like they deal in noodles, but different kinds. So you could get like mac and cheese, like spaghetti noodles. I got this chicken Alfredo. meal because I've never been there. We had it for years. I just never ordered anything from there. So I was just like, you know what? Let me go try them. Not bad. They had some pot stickers. And their soy sauce was like really spicy. Gives you a nice kick to it. But their pot stickers is not pan seared, so it's like kind of noodle wrap in a sense. So it looks and feels a little bit wet with it, but it was good. It wasn't bad with it. So like yeah, good noodles, good food at Noodles Company. Had a chicken teriyaki sandwich, Philly, like a Philly style sandwich that came from the mall, and then had a Cinnabon also, and oh, that was so good. Didn't get extra sauce, just got it the way that it came, and ate it and just was knocked out. I'm like, ooh, the sugary sweet. It's just so good. I love Cinnabon. I rarely get it when I'm at the mall and stuff. But I just had a taste for it because I haven't tasted them like in a couple of months. So just decided to get one of those. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Some Taco Bell here and there. Like some chalupas and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing really major. Just drinking like vitamin water, some pop. Got my smart water here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too big just yet. Still waiting for some more. If there's any more summer snacks coming out, because I know that some places got Halloween candy, and there was one place, and once they already selling like pumpkin spice coffee. I'm like, this is a little bit early. Let's wait till September, everybody.
Yeah, I saw Halloween stuff like a week or two ago at the store. I'm like, it's July. It's July.
So you wanna know what? So there are some places that decided to skip school season. Like the school supply season. Like a lot of stores will be getting their school supplies ready to go out. Some places just are skipping it because it's been low sales. So they're gonna just see how I think this is gonna be the first year they're gonna try it, see how it does. Of course, most people are probably gonna go to Walmart and get them, but we'll see what happens because they're skipping it. And once all this Halloween candy and stuff comes, you might start seeing like Halloween candy like literally on shelves, like whole sections. You might see like Target or CVS or Walgreens or whatever, with all their Halloween candy already out for the next 3 months. So, but yeah, everybody, that's what I've been snacking on. So we're gonna get into the next section. Ooh,
that's Zion over here.
Play with power. So Corey, I found my original 3DS, the red one, the red shiny one. So I ended up charging it and looking at my Meat Plaza, got one puzzle piece to to do a puzzle, and then realized that I had Fire Emblem Awakening on there. I was just like, I must have bought this digitally too while buying the physical version. So I was just like, okay, this is cool. Just like amazed that I had it, that I had it in there. So I might start playing my 3DS and seeing what I have on there, like what digital games I have on there. So but still Donkey Kong Bananza, playing more, and I'm like kind of like on the second level. I did beat the boss on there, the first boss, which wasn't too hard, but it was really fun, very creative. And with that, I'm also playing Shadow Labyrinth. This is the Pac-Man Metroidvania game from Bandai Namco. and it's fun. It's a um the story feels weird, and Puck, who is Pac-Man, talks a lot. I will say that. Um, and then like they have a shop that you'll be able to buy, to upgrade your attack power and your health, to increase it. So I kind of was grinding for a while, and it looks like the further you progress with the at the store, you have to start getting materials to progress your character. So right now I'm just like exploring the world, fighting to get money so I can just buy stuff and everything. But I already beat like 3 bosses and everything. And what's cool about it is that, you know, the more you attack the boss, depending on your level of power, they have 2 bars. They have their energy bar and their stun bar. So if they take enough hits and you get their stun bar, at the top, they won't attack, they'll be stunned. So you can just go in and start swiping and hitting them to take off more energy. And then like once you finish their energy, you could eat them to gain their power for it. So it's really cool. It's not that bad. I'm playing the Switch 2 version because it's $29.99. Both versions are the same price. So but I am playing the Switch 2 version of it. So that is what I am playing with Power. I will be getting back to my Xbox stuff soon, but right now I'm focusing on Nintendo stuff because Expedition 33. I got to get back to that game.
Start you need to play the game.
Yes,
it's all I'm saying. Game of the year. Game of the year.
It is sitting nice on my Series X.
That's all right. It'll take you like 6 years to beat it like it did Breath of the Wild. That's cool.
I can't with you.
Am I wrong?
You're not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good times.
What about you, Corey? How have you been playing with Power?
I've really I've been playing Destiny. It's really good. I'm trying to like just plow through with my Warlock, the campaign and stuff, because I just don't I don't know. I like my Titan, but I need a change of pace, and the Warlock seems like the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to talk really anymore about that at the moment. So I have been playing some of the new Mario Party Jamboree stuff with my kids. Some of them like it. Some of them want to play other things, which is fine. But yeah, it's cool. It really adds just a couple maps and some other kind of mini game functionality. Like there's mouse controls. I used the mouse controls for the first time today.
Oh wow!
I wasn't expecting to, but here we are. There's basically like you have to grab these toads with the mouse and like drag them through a maze of electric current stuff. And try not to get them shocked, or they, you kind of start over. So that's cool. It was actually like a really refreshing way to play those mini games, honestly. I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to become a PC gamer. Everybody settle down. But it was a nice kind of change of pace for the some of the mini games where you just kind of do the same motions all the time, right?
Yeah.
The game name changes, but the activity is the same a lot of the time. So, I've also been playing some Donkey Kong Bananza, which everybody seems to love. game stresses me out, man. I cannot. The destruction stuff, it just like, I don't know. And I don't know, man. The destruction stuff really bugs me. And I know I'm in the minority of that. It's just my opinion on how I want to play games is not like that. 100% not like that. So I'm going to push through, but man, it is hard for me to play that game. It seriously like stresses me out to play that game. So I don't, it's like the movement is fun and like the stuff you do in the game is fun, but like the destroying everything kind of thing is not what I want to be doing. So don't come to me if you want a glowing review of Donkey Kong, I guess is what I'm saying.
Come to me.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of all I've been playing. Oh, I've been playing Expedition 33 also because the game's awesome. But I don't really have anything else to say about that. I mean, I have a lot more to say about that, but we might do a part 2 of our show we did. Our 3.5 hour spoiler cast. We might do a part 2.
For another 3.5 hours.
No, I mean, I don't think it'll be that long, but it will definitely be. I don't know. It was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. You know, Stoy brought a lot of like really great insights to that game. You know, the discussion about that game, and you know, Danny has a lot of energy, right? He always has a lot of energy, and then you know, Stocky was a good fresh face to have on a show. We've never done anything with her before, so that was fun. But yeah, we all actually at the end of the show we said we could probably, like, if we had the energy, we probably could have gone for another couple hours talking about stuff because we didn't get to a lot of the things we wanted to, like some of the side quests, some of the character based quests, like the meanings behind some of the things that were going on. So we definitely talked a lot about the story and the multiple endings and, you know, kind of the purpose of them and what it means. But yeah, good times. I love that game, man. This is like a all-timer for me, I think.
Is it? I kind of feel like it's your Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
This is I mean, no, this is like a Breath of the Wild moment for me.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm just, I don't know. It's really something.
I use the term Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is because there's so much in that game and it's so unexpected, and when you get to certain story beats you're like, what? You know.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of that in this game.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of feel like, yeah, that may be your Xenoblade Chronicles 3, because it's just like that game, man.
It's one of those games again where, like, you know, those games that have that kind of the universal community understands, do not spoil this game for people who haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely has that going on for it, right? Like, every time I want to talk about this game, I literally can't say anything because something I say will spoil something else. It doesn't matter what it is, you know.
Definitely between just me and you at this time, like I had to play the game
but
to
it's not
get to those points to understand it. I'm just saying, for me and you right now.
I mean, you don't though. Like, there are things that would ruin an experience for you if I said
Well,
something out loud.
well, that's what I'm saying. Between just right now for me and you, just to use an example that you can't say anything about the game. That like I can't watch the spoiler cast because I want to play the game and
So
fully understand the story and be like, because my thing is that when I get to a point and I know that you played it, I want to be in a text with you to be like, Corey, I just got to Act 3. At this point, dot 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 dot, and then bam, have that conversation with you. Because right now we're both reacting. You're reacting with the knowledge that you know because you completed. I'm reacting with the knowledge that I just found out, and that makes a great conversation. Dialogue for us to have, because it's just like, okay, now I understand why this happened. Now I understand why this is happening. This is happening. Now I understand why players and reviewers and this great opinion about this game is being said.
Yeah, and I do want to say, like, I know you're not super high on it yet, but I know you're not very far.
Yes.
I want to say that there is a point in this game where it will click and you'll be like, oh, that's what everybody's talking about. Okay. Okay. I'm in. I'm in. Actually, and if that first point doesn't get you, the second point will get you. And if the second point doesn't get you, that third point will get you. Like, there are so many points in this game where it'll just grab you and be like, I get it now. Okay.
So good. And if those points don't get me, but I still enjoyed the game. Yeah.
And to be fair, I know there are a lot of people out there who don't think as highly of this game as like the entire internet seems to think of it. But, I do think it is a game, especially if you have Game Pass right now, right?
Yeah.
It is a game worth trying and sitting with for. So I think the prologue and Act 1 total are about 8 to 10 hours. I think, like, there is a easy mode, there's a story mode, so you can kind of just blaze through the story, right? And like I said earlier, there are issues I have with the game, right? Like, there's no mini map, there's no kind of collectible checklist. There's kind of like, there are places, like, you can't mark places on the map. If you find a place, it doesn't really tell you what it is that you found, right? Like, things like that, right? But, I think they are working to address some of the issues people have with this game, right? And I 100% expect some sort of, like, quote unquote anniversary patch next year sometime, or like some patch later down the road, maybe when like a Switch 2 version inevitably comes out. Like, there'll be some
it sells some more.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that said, yeah, I'll definitely buy that when it comes to Switch 2. Like, I'll buy it again to take it with me and to have it portably if I don't already have it on a Steam Deck or something. Yeah, I'll 100% buy it on Switch 2.
And they know with the success of Switch 2.
Well,
and even just
here's the thing. Somebody asked them if they were playing on a Switch version or a Switch 2 version, and they said, well, we weren't. We can't say anything right now, but the success of this game has changed a lot of things. So, come on. What does that tell you?
Well, because it means that,
it means that Nintendo wants to announce it at their next direct, or like a direct.
Well, no, not really. I mean, for a company with a debut game selling this much, it's a success story for them.
Yeah, I think it's sold almost 5 million copies already.
Right? And that during the Switch era, when there was an indie game that sold a lot on Switch, and then they getting more sales with the double dipping from people, it was a success story for them. So with this being a success story for them, they'll probably be like, okay, we have made enough money to make a budget to do a Switch 2 version. you know, or to do more things. So if it's possible for us to hire more programmers and, you know, more experienced developers and stuff, we can bring them on a team and make the Switch 2 port, and, you know, work on it, take 6 to 8 months or whatever. And if the game releases, and definitely it's a full game on the physical copy, we charge the same price. That's more sales for them, and that's more business.
Well, that's the thing too, is this game was only $50, right? I mean, it's not it's not a $70 or an $80 game. It's $50. And like, if you want the quote unquote deluxe version, right, it's an extra $10, right? And I gotta say though, the deluxe version skins are they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Yeah, it's also, they're pretty cool.
So, like I said, I'm excited to play it. Play more of it, I should say. With it. So, I'll definitely be doing that because I haven't been playing my Xbox for a while. But I'll get back into playing it and stuff. I just bought some new rechargeable batteries and stuff.
I need to get a new Xbox controller. I'm still rocking the ones I got at launch, and they are like crying for help.
I
mean, they're 5-6 years old at this point, so
yeah. I just bought a new black one, like the original one, and I still got the lime green one, which I still use.
Well, here's the thing: I was waiting for Xbox Design Lab to open back up because it's been closed for 7 months. And it still hasn't opened, with no word on when they're bringing it back. So,
that's weird.
My thought is that they were going to bring it back with some sort of like mid-tier controller, like the DualSense with like the haptics and stuff in it, and add those features to those controllers. But clearly, I haven't gotten that yet. So, anyways, yeah.
Because I also want to get back into South by Midnight, which now I'm thinking that may show up on PlayStation and Xbox. I mean, and Switch 2.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure anything Xbox puts out from here on out, you can expect to see it on other platforms. Some of them even day and date, I would imagine.
Very, very true.
I mean, look, Gears is coming out day and date, so like, and that's their, what I would say, their third biggest franchise besides Halo and Forza.
Is there 2 Gear games this year?
No, just one. Just the remake of the first one, which I got my code. I got my code yesterday, so that's cool.
E-Day is next year.
E-Day is next year. Next year will be the 4 pillars that have made Xbox what it is, according to the Summer Showcase. So my guess it's, E-Day, the Halo Combat Evolved remake that has been rumored, Forza
Fable.
Horizon 6, and Fable. So those will be the big
Forza is going to be an interesting one.
Dude, that next fall. They're not going to spread these games out either, right? It's going to be like September, October, November, or August, September, October, November, December, essentially, right? Like, Gears, Halo, Forza, Call of Duty, Fable next year. Like, that's going to be your lineup next fall. How insane is that for Microsoft? And that's not including Clockwork Revolution, which we know is coming. Outer Worlds 2 will probably get DLC next year.
The Clockwork game looks like it's going to be very interesting. I think everybody's anticipating it to see. They're getting ready to do the comparisons.
It has a look and a feel to it, but it also in the games that I like to play, it has a real look and a feel of a game that I will not play.
I'm planning on getting it.
I mean, I'm going to try it just because I am a Game Pass subscriber, right? Because I try everything, but not everything, but most things. But it definitely just does not feel like it has that Fallout Outer Worlds feel to it, right? Like that look, and I don't know, man. I'm not into those games. Again, I know I'm in the minority, but like I'm just not into those games, and ugh. Anyways, enough of that. Enough of me.
Ninja Gaiden 4 is the last Xbox game this year.
The last one?
I mean, or what's after Ninja Gaiden 4 on Series X?
No, it's what is this here? So it's Grounded, Ninja Gaiden, Gears, Call of Duty. What else is coming out? There's something else coming out at the end of this year too. Let's see. Hold on. Xbox
Battlefield 6 is multiplayer, so
yeah. For everything I'm hearing about that game, people seem to be Outer Worlds 2 is their big game dropping this fall too.
Okay.
Which they just dropped to $70 instead of $80. So that's good. Man, can somebody just give me a list of games that are coming out for the rest of the year? Game Informer has a great list. I was hoping somebody had just like a curated list of here's what's coming to Xbox.
Game Informer had the best list. It's still there. Check them.
It's still there.
Which I need to subscribe next Thursday.
Welcome back, Game Informer. We love you.
I gotta subscribe to them so I get the magazine and stuff.
Let's see. August. This is a long list here. Dude, by the way, Rah Rah Boom is coming out on August 12th.
Yeah.
Very excited. Not to Switch though.
Is it just Steam?
It's everything but Switch at the moment. I assume they want a Switch 2 dev kit and want to port it onto Switch 2.
If they're at PAX, I'll ask. Because I didn't get to talk to them at I played the updated version of that game at PAX East. But I didn't get to speak to him. I wanted to talk to him at PAX East, but didn't get a chance. So I'm gonna see if they're at PAX West. I'm gonna try to talk to him.
Yeah.
And I need to talk to hopefully the people from Poland. I hope they're there that had Sacrilus, a game that I played last year. I hope they're back there again, so I could talk to them and like congratulate them getting the release and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't really know what else Xbox has coming out. Anyways, not important. A lot of third-party stuff, good third-party stuff. Keeper, that's the other game they have. The Double Fine game that's coming out 3 days before Ninja Gaiden 4, and a day after Pokemon. So great release date, Xbox. Like they want these studios to fail. Come on. Man, they stress me out. Let's move on before I get really stressed out about Xbox on a Nintendo podcast.
Well, Corey, get ready because it's time for Family News. Take it away.
Yeah, Family News. Let's do some things. I meant to move some of these stories around so we can kind of talk about them in a certain order, but it's fine. Here, I'll just do this. We're going to move this up here. Editing on the fly. Okay. So, our first story is about Sony in particular. We don't really talk a lot about PlayStation on this show, but this isn't really a PlayStation purchase. It's more of a Sony purchase or investment. Sony has invested 2.5% into Bandai Namco, or about $464 million. That should not say billion. I'm going to fix that. Nobody's looking at it, but I'm going to fix it anyway because it's bothering me. Sony has purchased a 2.5% stake in Bandai Namco for around $464 million as part of a new partnership focused on growing global fan engagement around anime, manga, and popular IP. The two companies plan to work together on games, video content, merchandise, all that kind of stuff. We know that Sony is continuing to push their IP into transmedia. We know that they are partnering with Bandai Namco to publish games on Nintendo Switch 2 and PC with Patapon and Freedom Wars earlier this year. And the game I'm looking forward to on Switch 2 would be Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. Very excited for that. This seems like a good investment for them. They seem to be investing small bits and pieces into certain companies, right? They invested into Epic. They've invested, quite a bit into Katakawa, which is the parent company of From Software. So they seem to be trying to put their foot in the door in a lot of places. How do you feel about this move, Ed? It feels like a good move for Sony to do. Definitely benefit Bandai Namco, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's a very smart move for Sony to do it because definitely when you started talking about the anime stuff, Crunchyroll did come to my mind, but you said it in the story, and so that would be good for them, be able to get more IP on the Crunchyroll service. So if there is a certain anime or anything, Sony probably could get it first, all along with the TV showings, and if people want to check it out, they can subscribe to Crunchyroll and watch it. I think they're definitely making smart business investments, because like right now Bandai Namco is kind of, outside of Nintendo and Sega, Bandai Namco is probably becoming one of the number one recognized names in Japan for all the media that they do. And I don't want to discount Square Enix or anything, or even Konami or stuff, but like there's always something going on, even Capcom, there's always something going on with Bandai Namco having their hands around something. So if it's an anime go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You cut out a little bit. I thought you were done.
Go.
I was just going to say, with everything they have going on, like they own the Dark Souls IP, right? Like they do a lot with Shonen Jump. They do a lot with the kind of the popular anime shows on TV. Like they make games around all that, and Dragon Ball, like, I mean, they have all of that, which is like, say what you will about the quality of the games, but they always sell, right? Those games always sell a lot. So my opinion, that's just a good investment by Sony to get a piece of that pie without really having to do the work, essentially.
And this is also a thing, everybody. They, of course, Nintendo uses Bandai Namco to make the Smash games, so Sony won't have nothing to do with that.
You heard it here first. Sony's funding the next Smash Brothers.
But if Nitty, Sony, and Bandai Namco get to talking, we could see some of their characters as the next Smash games, along with some Microsoft stuff. So if we're going to get the ultimate, to have the first party and third party games from just across the world and indie games all into one in Smash, dude.
I would love to see Sony branch out and kind of put those like, especially like you think of like PS2 era Sony with like, I mean, Jack and Daxter, I think would be really cool. Sly Cooper, that tone of character from Sony, right? Like, I'm not saying go in there and put Kratos in there so he can stab everybody with his chains, right? But
Right.
I think that the PS2 has a lot of things that would fit nicely into a Smash Brothers, as secondary characters, right?
They got
Ratchet and Clank, even
well-known, recognized platformers.
And like, if they keep partnering with them and they keep publishing games for them, right? Like, they don't have to do the investment for publishing. Essentially, they are just kind of, kind of putting the license out there for them to use. So yeah, I think this is a smart investment. I'm going to continue to say it's a smart investment until it's not.
I believe it's a smart investment. Like I said earlier, Bandai Namco got their hands in a lot of stuff. So why not partner with the best one? And I think that's what I said with Nintendo using Bandai Namco to even make some of their games, definitely the Smash Brothers. There's a chance of them meeting and talking and working things out. And Bandai Namco is that medium that Sony could come to and that Nintendo could come to and do some things if they wanted to. And do it for business, but give it to the world for the love of game.
Yeah, it's a smart move. Looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. Yeah.
And 464 million, that's high. That's a lot.
Yeah, but it's only 2.5% of the company, which makes me wonder, is that company really worth that much money? That number's got to be wrong. I feel like
no, because Bandai has a lot of the anime and live action stuff. So, because Bandai merged with Namco, and Bandai paid Namco a lot of money to it's almost like Bandai bought Namco. So
yeah,
that's why you
true. Like, because sorry, I'm kind of like, sometimes I forget these companies, especially Japanese companies, do a lot of things outside of games specifically. And Bandai has the, like, in terms of toys, yes, they currently license it out to Hasbro, but they have the toy license to Power Rangers, right? So like, that's, plus all the merchandising around the Shonen Jump stuff. So anyways, again, rambling on. Nope, that number's right. It is right. Okay. I don't know, 2.5% and $464 million just seems like a lot of money. But here we are. Speaking of money, Ed, Sony's willing to pay someone to manage their multi-platform strategy, and it's causing a lot of speculation among fans. Sony is planning to bring more of its PlayStation Studios games to other platforms, which we were talking about at the top of the show, including Xbox, Steam, and Nintendo Switch / Switch 2, and mobile devices. A new job listing shows they're hiring someone to lead this effort and grow their reach beyond PlayStation consoles. Following Microsoft's lead, which is actually our next story, we can talk about that. We kind of talk about these at the same time, maybe. Sony aims to boost profits and reach more players by putting older games on rival platforms without hurting PlayStation's strong hardware base. PlayStation Publishing LLC is set to publish Helldivers 2 on Xbox this August. I'll go ahead and read the Xbox story that's very similar to this, and then we can kind of just tackle it at the same time.
Okay.
According to the game business, Microsoft might be revealing its next lineup of ports for PlayStation and Switch in the coming weeks. This also includes the Nintendo Switch 2, with the release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 by Activision in hopes the Nintendo Direct being announced, Microsoft is probably gearing up to reveal what they have planned this year and beyond. It's not certain that the next Call of Duty will be announced, but the 10-year deal the two made has many wondering when it will take effect. So where do we want to start? I guess we'll start with Xbox, since that's just kind of what I read just now, and then we'll kind of go into PlayStation. But my thought with the Microsoft stuff is that Nintendo wants to announce it at a Direct. Mm-hmm. Right? Nintendo, we talk about this all the time. Nintendo loves to control the message for better or for worse on these things. And I mean, remember Hot Shots Golf was announced for PlayStation a long time ago, and Nintendo announced it in a Nintendo Direct, right? They announced it.
Yeah.
You know, and they did the same for Freedom Wars. And you know, I think they announced Tony Hawk coming, right? To Switch at least. And then Microsoft announced that they were doing a Switch 2 port of the game at the showcase. But I think Nintendo said that they would be, you know, so there's obviously a lot of speculation on what's coming to Switch 2 from Microsoft, right? I think there are clear layups. I think there are some that are going to be a wait and see. But I would bet some form of Halo, some form of that Gears Reloaded would be coming, you know. And in terms of the Call of Duty stuff, like, they never said which Call of Duties would come to Switch, right? They could release a Modern Warfare Trilogy HD remaster pack, right? Or sell them one at a time for, you know, $40 a piece or whatever. Across, you know, they could do Black Ops remasters across the board. They could do, there's a lot they could do with Call of Duty, right? They could put older, like they could put everything up to through like probably Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare 3 on there, and people would be like, oh, 30 frames a second, whatever, it's fine. These campaigns are fun, I guess. And then, you know, I think Diablo 4 would be a huge miss if they didn't do that, right? Because they own that too, right? Especially because they already have Overwatch on there, and it's despite how people think they want to play Overwatch, apparently it's like one of the highest played games on the multiplayer games on Switch right now. So, you know, that, I mean, I don't know. How do you, I mean, what do you think will come over? I think Forza Horizon is also a layup, whether it's 5 or the new one.
Like I mentioned before, I think South by Midnight will come over.
Hellblade, I think, will come over for sure.
Hellblade 2. I think Hellblade 2 is gonna go multi-platform.
It already is. It's coming to PlayStation in August, on August 12th.
Okay, I didn't know if it got announced for PlayStation 5.
Yeah, because they're bringing that 60 frames a second mode because they essentially rebuilt the entire game to make it run at 60 frames.
Okay,
which is kind of why I'm waiting to replay it, and
because the Series X is getting the free upgrade, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought it or have Game Pass, you're getting that update for free.
Okay, so I
also think photo mode, I think, too, is coming, which will be cool.
Yes, I think Nintendo probably would get it sometime next year or later on this year. I would be surprised.
Well, there's still that rumor that that limited run is doing the physical versions of both games, right?
Of both games.
Of at least the Switch version of one, right? So
I wonder if they ever upgrades this first game on Switch 2. It's gonna be nice.
So my prediction is that just like on PlayStation, they are going to sell a bundle with both games in it for $60. That's my guess for Switch 2. If you own it on Switch 1, I don't know if you would do an update path or upgrade path for that. I bet Microsoft would probably try to take advantage of that. I think the Switch One version is a fascinating way to play that game, right? And it's that's the version I played for our book club last year, was the Switch version. And dude, you put headphones on, turn all your lights out, and play that game in portable mode with the brightness turned down just a little bit darker than you would like it.
I don't think I would be ready. I swear the experience will be like at another level. But I'm just like, man, will I be ready? Because like you already know that stuff gets creepy when you start hearing noises in your house and you're the only one that's
especially in the basement where it's already dark and underground, and
it's so to hear those voices while playing the game, like your concentration would just split. With your like, how do I focus? I'm like, why am I hearing noises? It would be, see, and that's the thing about it, because that would be a great October release for like Halloween or something. Like drop the digital version on Switch 2, and then like if you want the physical version, that will come later. But like straight get it on Halloween to be like, hey everybody, here's Hellblade 2 on Switch digitally live now. You guys can buy it, have a spooky time with it or whatever. Dude, that would be on a whole nother level.
Yeah, I really think the Switch version is an interesting, like, to me it's interesting enough just to keep the Switch version as is, right? Because it does get performance, not an official one, but it does get a technical performance boost just based on the sheer power of the Switch 2 being so much higher, right? The thing that I think makes the Switch version weird and even like more surreal than the Xbox and PlayStation versions is that the game looks like it was ported to Switch 2, right? Like it's not as clean, right? It's got this, especially if you're playing in handheld mode, it's probably running at like 600p or lower. Honestly, it's kind of grainy, it's kind of pixelated, but then like when the cutscenes happen, it does this natural transition into like a movie file essentially, like, and then it gets really crisp and clean and sharp and beautiful, and then like when you go back, it transitions back into like the game in a way that is like really weird and cool. And I would almost want them to keep that, because it's kind of charming in a way, if that's a word you want to use for that. So
yeah, yeah, I mean that would like, because I'm like, they got the first game on all three systems on multiple consoles and PC. I think so on PC. It would just make sense to put 2 on Switch 2 for people to have that collection and everything.
Yeah, especially because like that game didn't sell very well either.
True.
Right. I mean, I think
it's worth the purchase for me.
Yeah. I think it'll sell on PlayStation just for the sheer fact that that first game was a PlayStation exclusive for a long time. And there's a history there, and with Ninja Theory in general, right? With Heavenly Sword and DMC played really well over there, and
Enslaved.
Yeah, so like Ninja Theory has a history with PlayStation, and I think it'll do well. I think it'll do well on Switch, just because whatever weird third-party games come to Switch, it's like still a novelty, right? So
snag it as much as you can. Snag that mud.
Although I do want to say I'm kind of less inclined to buy third-party games on Switch recently for some reason, and I don't mean to not to. It's just like I don't know. I mean, also there hasn't been a lot that I wanted to play. I think I'm just so obsessed with Expedition 33 that I can't really focus on anything else.
I know I still got 2 that I need to start on it. Outside Cyberpunk is good. I will say Avowed. I think Avowed could come to Switch.
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
PlayStation, because that's a really great game. Obsidian did just a terrific job with that game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Avowed and the Outer Worlds 2 will both come over.
Yeah,
The Outer Worlds 1 is on Switch.
Yeah,
which is a weird port. It's so weird.
Goodness, what is that zombie hunting game?
State of Decay.
State of Decay.
Yeah,
was that only on Xbox?
Yeah, it's published by Undead Labs, which Xbox owns. I do think that State of Decay 3 will be multi-platform though.
What was the I thought there was another one. Oh, it's the diagonal one, and I cannot think of it.
The diagonal one.
1 and 2 came out for Switch, but part 3 didn't come out. It only came out on Xbox.
Zombie game. Dying Light?
Not Dying Light. It's that survival game.
You got me. I don't know. You got me. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I think there's definitely a lot from Xbox that'll come over. PlayStation, I think, is the more interesting one because I think you could kind of pick and choose what games come over and like be fine, especially anything older than anything that's relevant right now. Like I think a port of the Jack trilogy would be awesome, and Sly Cooper would be awesome.
Yes,
I actually think like the God of War Greek Saga collection would be an interesting port.
A lot of their PSP stuff probably would be better.
I think I almost wonder if Infamous would be really cool. They're not doing anything with that franchise right now, right? Like if you put Infamous 1, 2 and the vampire one, right, in a package. Like think of anything that got a collection on the PlayStation 3.
Dude, so because everybody's been, everybody. Sorry about that. People feel like with Infamous, it needs a remaster or it needs a sequel or it needs to make a reboot comeback. Like everybody's like getting into that mood.
That's because who was it said it in an interview like they would like to go back to Infamous, but they're heads down on Ghosts and they
for
wouldn't,
Sucker Punch.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have time to work on it. And it's like, well, first of all, you wouldn't do it yourself. You would either outsource it or, I don't know, give it to the team you bought that makes remakes called Blue Point. I don't know. Still mad out there.
Dude, the Blue Point touched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Blue Point is on top of their game. I'm not gonna knock them. They on top of their game when they start doing remakes and remasters and stuff.
Yeah.
Because all I would definitely want to be like, shoot, give me Infamous 2 because I love that game. Clean it up, give it some more color, some more pop. It's on and popping.
Yeah, it's definitely a franchise I think is worth revisiting, especially with the popularity of Spider-Man, which is actually my next one. I think Spider-Man is going to go multi-platform. Why, you ask? Disney, right? It's not Sony's, it's Disney's. And I mean, look, Xbox put Indiana Jones multi-plat, right? And it did really well on PlayStation and PC, right? I think you put Spider-Man and Miles Morales on Switch 2 and Xbox, like, dude, that's such easy money for PlayStation and Disney, right? That I mean, the money they would make off of those, especially on Switch. Could you imagine having Spider-Man on Switch? Like, how many?
Yeah,
dude, kids would eat that up, right? Like, kids bought PlayStations for Spider-Man,
yeah.
right? Like, I think, and Miles Morales, I think, is the best of the quote unquote trilogy, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I feel like that's an easy win. I know Spider-Man's really relevant to your own ecosystem right now, but you already put it on PC. There's 3 games out there. You don't have to put all 3 of them out, especially at the same time. There's clearly a 3rd game in development and a Venom game in development, and your Wolverine's coming out. Like, your Marvel stuff is set for the next decade, essentially.
Pretty much.
Put that first one on there to get some excitement for this 3rd game, right? Like, I think, like, and I'm sure Disney wouldn't mind having a little extra cash to stuff under the mouse's bed. You know what I mean? Like,
I really wonder if Insomniac would do the Resistance games and put a 4-pack kind of collection for Switch 2 and for Xbox.
I think if they're going to do the shooters, I think they would do Killzone before they do Resistance. Killzone was way more popular.
I mean,
in terms of sales numbers, Killzone was way more popular.
If it was popular, it was only popular on PlayStation 4. I don't think Killzone did numbers from 1, 2, and 3.
I mean, it outsold Resistance. Killzone 3 outsold Resistance 3 like 3-1. So
that's crazy because I know Killzone 3, that was PlayStation 3 when they had, well, what's that PlayStation 2? They had that nice cut scene, and when it was introducing the game, and then the game didn't look like that or something. Because Killzone 2 was PlayStation 2.
Killzone 1 was PS2, and Killzone 2 and 3 were PS3, and Shadowfall was PS4. And then I think there were 2 handheld ones.
Yeah. Because after they did Killzone 4, then Guerrilla Games started working on Horizon, and that's when Guerrilla Games started getting popular. I thought because everybody was loving Resistance because of how the guns evolving, the more that you use them and stuff, and changing, the games were getting better and better with each sequel and stuff. Because the first Resistance was that old school kind of first person shooter with it. And I know people have been clamoring for like a Resistance comeback or a Resistance remastered or something, just so people could get their hands on it. Because I think there are people who are willing to like get their hands on these games. Because right now, in reality, Corey, like the Resistance games are retro games. Now.
I know.
So, or modern retro games, I should say.
Yeah. So it looks like Resistance 1 outsold Killzone 1. Which, sure. But then it's Killzone 2 and Shadowfall were like really great selling games for the series, and Resistance 3 didn't sell at all. Like, I'm looking at the top games sold from that are owned by PlayStation, and I mean the top 20 franchises, not just the games but franchises, Killzone and Resistance aren't even on the top 20. So
which I would just say this, Killzone 3, I think, because I beat 2 on PlayStation 3, and I beat 3, like PlayStation. Killzone 2 took me 3 days to beat. Killzone 3 actually took me like a day and a half to beat. And I enjoyed 3 better than I did 2. I didn't play all of 1. In fact, I didn't even play one.
Here's a stat for you, Ed. The iToy outsold Resistance Fall of Man.
Ooh.
So I'm looking at the Sony's first party published top 75 games in terms of sales numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So Resistance Fall of Man is number 39 at 3.9 million. I don't know how updated this list is. It's a video game sales wiki, so I don't know when this was updated last. I just what I'm looking at off the top of a Google search. If there are better numbers, please let me know so we can kind of correct it next week, but also I'll forget about it in 10 minutes, so whatever. Resistance is number 39. It is the only Resistance game on this list. Killzone, just saw it. Hold on. Killzone Shadowfall is number 56 at 2.1 million. Let's see. Killzone 2, where'd it go? I just saw it. Killzone 2 is on this list somewhere. I just saw it, dude. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Out of the top 75 games, like only 3 of the 10 games in those franchises are on this list. So,
oh wow.
I mean, it's easy to see why, it took you 6 games to sell, 8 million units in Killzone, and then you sell, in Horizon, you sell 20 million units of the first game, right? I mean, of course, you're not going to make another Killzone game. You're going to make a sequel to Horizon, and on
top of them making their own
2 multiplayer games.
Right, on top of Guerrilla Games making their own engine. So,
yeah,
I mean, Resistance is just so good. All 3. I mean, 1 was okay as an intro. 2 is really good. 3 takes it really home. It's just like 2 and 3 they just work. They're just so good. And so I kind of feel like, if we're thinking about Halo, and bringing like the Halo collection to Switch 2, I'm just like, dude, do it for Resistance and do it for Killzone. Even, like these modern shooters were big in their own right, in a sense. They did something different. They all told different stories. Yeah, it deals with space and aliens and all of that stuff. But I'm like, at that time
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you
got. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you cut out. You cut out, and I keep interrupting, and I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just also think like bringing some of these games to platforms also that may either run them better or run them well. Like obviously they would have to put them out on their own platform too, because that would be silly not to. But
right.
I'd never played Resistance or Killzone because I wasn't interested and I didn't care about PlayStation. So like, I played Helldivers a little bit, the first one. I wanted to play Helldivers 2, but I didn't really feel like buying it on PlayStation because I don't ever play games over there. And I knew I wasn't going to play it long enough on PlayStation to make it worth my while. But now that's coming to Xbox, I'm like, yeah, I'm totally going to play it because that's where I spend all my time. Right. And so, bringing shooters over to the Xbox specifically, like, I mean, that's what that platform was built on, right? They own all of the major first-person shooter franchises, right? I mean, Call of Duty, Doom, Wolfenstein, Halo, Gears, not necessarily first-person shooter, but they own it, right? And Fallout to an extent, and Quake, they own all these great first-person franchises and like shooter franchises that they 100% would be worth bringing it over. I mean, heck, while we're talking about shooters, bring over The Order 1886. Who cares? Slap a $30 price tag on it. Who cares? Right?
I think they would have to go in and fix that game and just be like,
it's funny. I don't know if you listen to Ready at Dawn, the former CEO of Ready at Dawn, which RIP that studio, because Facebook bought them for VR games, and then shocking, VR didn't take off, so they shut them down.
Are you kidding?
No, dude, this happened like 2 years ago. But he was doing an interview because he started a new studio, and they were talking about the order and asked him if he had to do it all over again, would he? He said, look, we knew the first game wasn't going to be we wanted to be a visual cinematic masterpiece, but the plan was to make the second and third game, because they were planning it as a trilogy, and it was like Order 1892 and then 1896. It was going to span like a decade essentially. And he said that they were going to be more along the lines of like Gears essentially, or Resident Evil, in terms of third person shooting, and be more action oriented. And they were going to take the notes from the first game, people didn't kind of expand on that. Because the story is really good, but the game, I mean, there's hardly a game there, right? I mean,
it's a game there. It's just it's
small. I mean, it's a small game. I mean, that's what I'm getting at.
This is the thing about it, is that people felt lied to about that game because of them being small.
I don't know if people felt lied to. I feel like people's expectations, like mini games, are way too high, and
they thought they would be. I thought they would be fighting more werewolves. They thought that
was supposed to be the setup for the next couple games. Was those plot points were supposed to be more of a focal point in the next game.
But it turned out that for the game, that it was less about the werewolves and you fighting people. People thought, they thought all the battles where you were going to do some big shootouts or something with werewolves, or people that you're fighting would turn into these werewolves and try to attack you and everything, and you just start blasting them with these guns. And so when you're fighting all of these people, you get these cool guns, and then they take it away. You don't get it for the rest of the game. It was just like a mixture of confusion of what is this game trying to be. Visually impressive. Don't get me wrong. Visually cinematic and impressive. Love the cutscenes and everything. But people were just like, this is a boring, short, third person hide and pop up cover based shooter. So it was just like, here go the points. We fill these points. Once again, like I said, paint by numbers. That's what the game felt. And so when you show all your trailers and even your demos about you fighting these werewolves, people got that idea of you fighting these werewolves, and then it actually came out being a whole different game than what was sold to people. That's why, sorry, I bring up Cyberpunk, but that's what people were sold about on Cyberpunk. We were sold on a whole bunch of cutscenes and barely no gameplay till the game came out and all of that mess happened.
Yeah. Apparently it's good now, but I don't care enough. I played side tangent. I played a little bit of Cyberpunk on Switch 2, obviously, when it launched, and it just made me remember why I didn't really care about that game in the first place. It just didn't do anything for me. It's fine.
I'm enjoying it. I've done more side quests.
I know people enjoy it. I'm just saying, like, it didn't do it for me.
It's just a world that's not for you.
It's just not for me. Yeah, I don't know.
Understandable, more respectable.
It's the first person thing, dude. I would have eaten it up if it was a third person shooter.
You can switch to third person.
You can't.
I did.
You can't. In Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
There's not a third person mode in that.
Yeah, I switched to third person.
Well, then your game is broken, because I'm pretty sure you cannot do that.
I thought I switched to third person in Cyberpunk.
No, because that was like a huge thing. They were like, no, we want people to be immersed in this.
Oh,
Let's see. April 10th, 2025. So there is not an official third person mode. You have to mod it in on PC.
Why did I thought I did, but maybe that's just the car parts.
The car parts are all third person.
Yeah, I thought I did it in a. Maybe not.
No, and then there's all these guides on how to play Cyberpunk in third person. Yeah, no, there's no third person mode.
No, yeah. Because I've been doing a lot of the side stuff. I just like finally moved the story. But everything that I'm doing story wise, I've already done on the Series X, or not the Series X, the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. So when I get to a certain point in the story, everything else is going to be new to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad people enjoy it. I'm glad the Switch version is seeing success. According to reports, one of the only third party games that had success on the Switch 2 at launch. But I mean, I feel like everything else that launched, like everybody's already played Yakuza 0 who wants to play Yakuza 700 different ways and times. Hitman's been out for almost a decade, like and I'm not saying like they didn't put a lot of work into these ports or anything, because they definitely have, but like, man, I just feel like these third party games are, I mean, No Man's Sky game's been out forever. Like, I don't know. It's just yeah, I don't know. Let's see what Switch 2 recommends for me, by the way. Golf Story. Nope. Bayonetta Origins. I own it. Delta Rune. Nope. Bug Fables. Nope. Night in the Woods. Nope. Crypt of the Necrodancer. I think. Nope. Return of the Oberdin. Man, the Switch does not know me at all. The Castlevania Dominus Collection. It's on my wish list. But Outer Wilds. Oh my gosh, you definitely don't know me if you suggested that game. That's one of those games. You know how I talk about like games that people hold to a like the way people feel about Nier Automata, or obviously currently Expedition 33, and like how people just rant and rave about games that 9 times out of 10 just 100% can't be possible. Outer Wilds is one of those games. I'm sorry, the game's not real. It's not a game.
I gotta give that, like I said, I have it on Series X. I think I need to reinstall it and give it a fair shake.
No, you don't. It's fine. There's too many other good games to play.
That and that Star game by Obsidian.
Star game
by the one that everybody crapped on, Starfield. Was it Starfield?
Yeah, that's not from Obsidian. It's from Bethesda.
That's what I was thinking of.
No, don't tarnish tarnish Obsidian like that, Ed. Don't put that bad taste in their mouth.
Ooh, that's shade.
Obsidian's a much better developer than that.
Once again, that's shade.
Speaking of, Starfield will probably go multi-platform at some point.
Yeah, I can see it on PlayStation, and they would have to really get to talking to Nintendo to get Star Fox in that mug, or just even the ship and outfit.
Why? They did it for Skyrim, for Zelda. I don't know why they wouldn't do it for this. Just saying. Already happened. Metroid,
But they weren't.
would be more of a
Oh no,
fit for this, but
Bethesda wasn't bought by Microsoft at that time, right?
I don't think so.
So, but I'm like, hey, if Bethesda gets to talking to Nancy, Microsoft Bethesda gets talking to Nancy, hey, we would love to have a star, something from Star Fox in our game. Will you allow us? And we make it for Switch. Nintendo said, yeah, we will.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
anyways, all right, let's talk about PlayStation now. Let's talk about PlayStation games now. Possibly move over. This is going to be a little less. I mean, I guess we already talked about some of them. I guess we kind of just mixed and matched, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I told you I was going to forget about that Killzone and Resistance conversation in 10 minutes. took 7. So, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about any of this?
No.
Are there any other Sony games you would like to see over there that would make sense? Not like, I want God of War and Horizon, because I don't think any franchise that's relevant right now is going to make it over.
I mean, shoot. Well, was Sony publishing Wipeout and Twisted Metal? Twisted Metal, yes.
They own both of them. So yeah.
So they still own. I would like to see Wipeout on there. Some of the Wipeout series.
Yeah, they have. They just remastered the one of the the PSP one, right, for the online thing. So I could see that.
Yeah, if there's no more F-Zero games and no RMX Racing, Fast RMX.
You don't need anything else. Fast RMX is the man.
I would like to see the Motorsport series probably come over.
Oh yeah. Motorstorm.
Yeah, that's
dude,
it.
Dude, that franchise was awesome. Why am I so red? My camera is all messed up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, dude, Motorstorm. I don't remember those 3D TVs Sony was selling, the PlayStation 3D TVs.
Yeah,
with, like, the glasses that made the screen look like you were playing this screen and your friends were playing another full screen version of that was such a cool TV. I almost bought one of those because I played Motorstorm on it.
I remember Motorstorm. Was it PS3? I think it was a big game on PS3.
Motorstorm was big.
And then it just like disappeared.
Well, it was so they had the so Japan had that tsunami that delayed one of them, and they had to change the entire premise of the game because I think it revolved around natural disasters essentially. And then
okay.
And again, I don't know what order this was in, but they also were affected by the PSN outage. So that was not great for them.
Did they studio close?
Yes, they did. Because they not after Motorstorm. They closed after Drive Club. Remember Drive Club?
Yeah.
And then somebody bought them to do another racing series, which I forget, but then they closed after that. I forget what the series they tried to do was after that.
I'm going to have to do a deep dive on some of Sony's closed studios and check out stuff like The Getaway and stuff like that.
The Getaway was a cool game for PS2.
I've never got to play it. I heard about it, read it in EGM, and never got to play it.
Oh man, the sequel wasn't as good, but that first game was really cool.
All I know is that you had to hug the wall to get your health back.
It was cool. I would I would like to see the Getaway come back in some form. But yeah. Let's see here.
So.
I would like to see the old school platformers come over. People were yelling for Astrobot to make it to Switch 2, which I wouldn't say no, but that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, Astrobot's
essentially the only kid-friendly mascot they have right now that's has any relevance. So,
right. I mean, after Run Game of the Year, I don't think they will put it on there. And Insomniac, Insomniac and Sucker Punch has kind of moved away from the kid-friendly games.
Yeah.
So,
although there's another Ratchet in development supposedly, so I mean, Insomniac has 3 teams, but
and then do you really want to put some of your best platformers against Nintendo's platformers and stuff? Because I'm like, still to this very day, a lot of people still talk about Nintendo platformers than Sony platformers.
It's because Mario is Mario, and I mean, let's be honest, Astrobot is the first, I would say, great 3D platformer Sony has made since Jack 1 or the Sly Cooper trilogy. Right? I mean, I would say pure platformers, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, what Little Big Planet, not a great platformer. It was made for the tools, not the game.
Yeah. And that would get put up against Mario Maker.
Yeah, and look, Mario Maker was good, and Little Big Planet. I mean, I think it was a novelty at first, right? But like, I think that novelty wore off really quick.
And I still think there's just some awesome designers.
Yeah, but that was also the problem with Dreams, right? Is like there's a small community of dedicated designers, but no one to play the games because nobody played the games. So, sad, but what can you do? What can you do?
I'm just glad they're still around.
I would be surprised if they were much longer. Not to be a downer.
Y'all already close.
I think. I think if I don't think Sony's going to close any studios anytime soon, unless Fair Games is bad, or fails or whatever, right? Because like I wouldn't even say Concord was bad. I would just say it was uninteresting, and it had that negativity going into it already. But man, Fair Games Marathon, I'm a little bit worried about Marathon. I'm worried about Bungie because of Marathon. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care a whole lot about Marathon at the moment. They have to really sell me on that, but I'm really into this new Destiny saga, and if Marathon isn't good, then Bungie goes away. How do I finish this saga?
Ooh.
What are they going to put out a comic book like they did for Halo for the DLC?
Wow!
Remember that? Did you didn't hear about
that?
The Halo, the planned Halo Infinite DLC got canceled and put into a comic book
for Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
No, I did not hear that.
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't hear that.
I didn't even know that.
The campaign wasn't even the problem. It was the multiplayer that they couldn't keep up with, which I also still don't think was a problem, but the way live service works now, clearly a problem. But
because I didn't even see like the comic come out or hear anything
it's
about it.
It's not out yet.
Are you serious?
It's coming out next year because it's the 25th anniversary of Halo. They're going to release it before the remake launches.
But Halo Infinite has been out for about...
I'm aware. And it's going to
For
come out
some
about the
years?
time the DLC was ready to go.
That's a mess.
I mean, have you paid attention to Xbox lately?
I mean, I have, but I didn't know that they was turning some. I have never heard some DLC get turned into a comic book.
I mean, Mass Effect Andromeda's did. Anthem's did. There's a ton of examples.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Mass Effect Andromeda was like the big one, at least when it came out, because like there was like a whole storyline that you were following, and like it was tracking the other ship, and
I thought everything wrapped up in that game.
no, there's a whole nother storyline that they are going, like they're going to have to address it in 5, 4, 5, whatever they're numbering this one.
Because I did finish Mass Effect Andromeda, which I may have to replay again. Because it's been a while since.
I liked what I played. I
did too.
I mean, I played it like after the patches and like after they fixed everything, but like, I mean, it wasn't as good as the original trilogy, but how can you ask someone to make a game that good after like that, half that team left and everything, right? Like, like I just feel like that game just was unfairly treated a little bit.
And then the way they got just thrown in to do Anthem,
which the two main parts of that game weren't even implemented until the last like 9 months of the game being in development, including the name of the game. They decided on the name of the game like 2 weeks before they revealed it. It was supposed to be called Beyond something, but somebody owns that trademark. I think it's Beyond Two Souls. I think Quantic Dream owns that trademark. And so like they had to change the name. And Anthem Anthem has nothing to do with the game. Like that name had nothing to do with the game until then. And then maybe the best mechanic in the entire game, the flying, wasn't implemented until like less than a year before the game came out.
But I thought it was in I thought it was in a trailer.
It was in the reveal trailer, but the game came out that year, right? Because they were trying to do the thing that,
because it got delayed a lot to February, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, it was revealed in June and came out in February or March, right? So that's 9 months.
Yeah.
Like the flying was implemented like 2 or 3 months before they revealed it.
Wow.
Man, Anthem. That was a game I really wanted to love, and I tried.
Everybody was. I mean,
the flying was fun. The world was fun. The shooting was fun.
Yeah,
but going to spot 1, shooting a bunch of guys, going to spot 2, shooting a bunch of guys, and shooting, in a game that's supposed to be an RPG, right? I mean, if you're going to make it a shooter, that's one thing, right? But like, when you're trying to compete with things like Destiny and The Division, like, you better come up with something a little bit more intentional, I guess.
And EA was only looking for the money, not looking for the design.
Which is the exact problem with what was that last game they put out? Dragon Age. They should have just
Dragon Age game was so good. Like,
I
really,
can't believe
really
they
good.
didn't announce that for Switch. I like that game coming to Switch 2 as like a launch title alongside Mario Kart and Cyberpunk probably would have done it. Probably would have sold more on Switch 2 than it did.
It's EA, and EA is worried about Nintendo support. So.
I know, but it's just like, I don't know.
Because if we only just get Madden, and that'd be pretty much the only game for the whole lifespan of Switch 2, I think it's gonna be a wrap for their next system.
Apparently EA is in like a little bit of financial issues, I've heard. Because they keep, the sports games are kind of what's keeping them afloat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I heard some things about what's going on at EA. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, how about we move on to the next story, Corey?
All right. Oh boy. All right, let's talk about Nintendo now.
Yes.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond rating has been spotted, fueling Nintendo Direct hopes, Ed.
Yes.
It seems Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has been rated in South Korea, which is always the ratings board that rates everything first. Shared on Reddit in the Game Leaks and Rumors subreddit, this has players speculating an up and coming Nintendo Direct. At this time, nothing concrete about a Direct is happening, but it might. I mean, that'd be fine, great. I mean, I'm glad it's rated already, but I feel like Metroid Prime is a safe one to throw a rating at and say this is what we're aiming for. And like, I mean, that's kind of how it runs anyway, right? Is like you send a description, and the ESRB really doesn't, look at ratings, right? Like, I mean, they don't play the games to rate the games. They go by the descriptions the companies send in, right? So,
yeah.
And the companies need to be truthful of like, oh, you're shooting, but you're shooting aliens and there's no blood, or, you say a few cuss words here and there, so it might need to be rated teen or whatever, right? But
yeah.
But
I mean, we're getting close to August, so if anything, Nintendo has to this Thursday to announce something. If we don't get nothing, then we'll probably see a Direct next month.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm really interested to see what is going to happen with Metroid Prime 4. I actually just reinstalled Metroid Prime 1 remastered because I kind of want to play it like all the way through.
Yeah, I think with this next Nintendo Direct, I think it's gonna be a lot of updates to games that were already announced. We'll get a montage, and I think we'll get some new indie announcements, and then I think we're getting the next Fire Emblem reveal.
I would say that would be an easy layup, especially if you're going to release, like, what you could do. You could like time up the GameCube releases on NSO with that. Like you could drop Fire Emblem Path of Radiance alongside that announcement, right? Or like you could say, this is coming to Nintendo Switch online and you can play it now, but wait, here's an announcement.
Because like Sega and Atlas, we'll probably get Persona 3 Reloaded, and Persona 4 Golden.
I almost wonder if they're going to do a remaster of some of them though first before they do a full-on one, like the 3DS one.
If anything, I think they would start doing the Shin Megami Tensei games, because 5 is on Switch.
I'm talking about Fire Emblem.
Oh, I was talking about Sega Atlas.
I'm still on the Fire Emblem conversation.
Oh,
you are jumping around all over the place, man. Your ADHD is real here tonight, everybody.
No, Fire Emblem, the first one being remade, but that's intelligent system.
But it's already been remade twice, though. The first one. I would say something like Awakening or Fates would be remade.
Well, this is the thing about it. Does it go back to Koei Tecmo, or does the intelligence system work on it? Or
I mean,
in
I think
fact,
intelligent systems should just handle the remakes and let Koei Tech. I mean,
Koei
well,
Tecmo,
I don't. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter at this point though, because I think like Three Houses
because
was good for one reason, but Engage was good for another reason, right? Like, I
right,
mean, I loved it playing. I loved Engage, right? But I loved Engage for different reasons than I loved Three Houses, right? And so
right.
I
Three
guess it
Houses is
depends.
it's the new Fire Emblem, and Engage is like the old style Fire Emblem.
Yeah, but they have some interesting new mechanics in Engage that
Engage,
you know, if you're a strategy RPG person, like those are the kind of things you're looking for. But if you're like a Persona style person, like Three Houses is what you want. So I think they can have their cake and eat it too. I think they could do both
mm-hmm.
and kind of just alternate, right? Releases, which would mean, I guess, Tecmo Koei would be the next team up to do one. But like,
Because
I,
like
I just, I, those, it's, you look at you look
it's
at their
so.
franchises, right? On Switch 1 and 2, and you
Mhm.
think, what franchises haven't they remade or remastered yet? And
Yeah.
Fire Emblem sticks out like a sore thumb, right? I mean, they did
Yeah.
Mario RPG, right? They remade Super Mario RPG, but you're not going to remake a Fire Emblem game? Like that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like
Well,
that's you know, I just feel like there are games that you could remake and like not on the cheap, but
mhm.
like fill a void while you work on the quote unquote real one.
Because I think it's because of intelligence system, not when they were doing it a lot with the Fire Emblem series. I think they kind of fell back, and then Koei Tecmo kind of take over while having them. Because this is the thing, Koei Tecmo is booked and busy and blessed. Ninja Gaiden 4, the Neo 3, I think that they
Uh-huh.
announced. Um, them working with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, probably overseeing it, even though that's a different developer. Um, they're doing Hyrule Warriors and everything, so they kind of got like right now. I would say in house like about 3 projects, and we don't even know what else that they got
Yeah.
at this
Well,
time.
then have intelligence systems. I mean, it doesn't matter who does it, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Fire Emblem, it's been gone for a while now, right? Remember when we were getting them like all the time?
Right.
I felt like we were getting one every year, like every 12 to 18 months, like either a new game or a
And,
spinoff or
and,
like, I mean, even in 2017, we got 2 games that year, right? We got Valencia on 3DS, and then we got Fire Emblem Warriors that fall.
yeah.
That fall, and it's like, oh
And
my gosh,
and
Fire Emblem,
and you know,
relax.
intelligence system was working with Koei Tecmo to get these games because, like, they were, man, they were working on the 3DS with Fire Emblem. After Awakening, Fire Emblem blew up, and so I think if they do a remake, I think intelligence system is gonna is gonna headline that, um, and fix some things here and there, um but I think the fans are gonna be like, we want another Fire Emblem from Koei Tecmo, because Koei Tecmo set a
Well,
high
there's
bar with Three Houses.
no doubt they're gonna have Koei Tecmo do one again like that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Three Houses still outsold Engage. Like you look at the numbers, like it's still like by over a million units, it's outsold. You know, Engage, and like I know it's been out longer, obviously, but it's clear that people prefer, especially with the rise of Persona and like the recent leaks. I don't know if you saw them or not. I almost put them in the news because I think they are worth talking about, but not there's
Mm-hmm.
not a good enough source to say this is actually happening. But like the leaks of Metaphor, Persona 3 Reloaded, and Persona what the remake of 4 that they're doing are all coming to
Mm-hmm.
Switch, right? And like we saw, I mean, look at the people standing in line for the physicals of 3 and 4 at the limited run booths at PAX, or like, look how much 5 sold on Switch alone, right? Like,
yeah,
there's a clear want for these. And so I think with the rise of that and the popularity of that style of RPG specifically, I really think that, doing another Fire Emblem in that style, and maybe even lean harder into that style, right? Like, I think you
yeah,
lean harder into that and be like, do more exploring and have that kind of scheduled thing that Persona does so well. And like, maybe you even have Atlas take a crack at it and be like, okay, look, here are the parameters. People clearly like the style of the game. Like, put your influence and style into it, but make sure it's a strategy RPG. Maybe Intelligent Systems does the battle system, right? But tell a good story. Give us the exploration. Give us the characters. Like, I think that would also make a lot of sense for them.
yeah.
I mean, they obviously have a nice relationship with Sega still, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like that would actually be a really good partnership.
I mean, like,
they have a good relationship with them in Fire Emblem anyway, with Tokyo Mirage Sessions. So like,
yeah,
I mean, that is a Fire Emblem Persona game. So, I mean, just why not? And give us Tokyo Mirage Sessions too while you're at it, I guess.
right. And so that's why I think the next big thing for this Nintendo Direct would have to be a Fire Emblem, because Engage was probably what, maybe 2-3 years from now, 2 years probably, I think.
Engage was 2023, I think.
3.
Let me look.
Because that was a
January 20th, 2023. Yeah, so we're
okay.
We're going to be about 3 years away from the last Fire. I mean, I guess Fire Emblem Warriors, did that come out before Engage or after the Three Houses one?
Three Houses came before.
No, Three Hopes came before.
Three Hopes. Yeah, Three Hopes came before Engage. Yeah.
Let me look that up.
Because they started when Engage came
7
out.
months before. You're right.
Yeah, when Engage came out, that was the first game that they showed for that Nintendo Direct. I think in a September Direct or something, September or August Direct, and it was just like, oh, this is beautiful. Because when we see Engage, the first thing we thought of just like, oh, they about to cosplay this like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody just like, oh, this is like old school Fire Emblem. And then when we just only seen Intelligent System, like if you really pay attention to the Direct, you'd be like, oh, okay, Corey Tugwell didn't have their hands in this because they had something else to do. I mean, and they had just finished Three Hopes, so they probably moved on other projects to do something.
Yeah,
but yeah,
man, Fire Emblem. Let's make it happen, Nintendo. Come on,
yes.
We're waiting. Dude, playing Fire Emblem Engage feels like so long ago at this point. What a great game. 90 plus hours in that and the DLC. Well worth it.
Oh, hold on. On top of you playing the phone game.
Oh, yeah. I forgot it. That was this year too, huh? Man. Whoops. Dang. All right, let's I guess we'll talk about something else now.
I think we're in the last.
Yeah, Nintendo is making a Game Boy Lego set with 421 pieces. It comes with Lego built copies of Link's Awakening and Super Mario Land. It's not playable. I know people like saw them turn it on and like pretend to play it, but it is not. It is not a playable Game Boy, everybody. It'd be cool if it was, but it's not a playable Game Boy. It looks cool. This is similar to the NES that came out a couple years ago at this point. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I think the Game Boy for me holds a special place in my heart for many reasons, but I don't know if I'll be getting this. I like Legos a lot. I don't really have any major sets because they cost too much, and there are other things I would rather buy with that money. You know, like if each set was like half the price that they are, right? I mean, does that Zelda set really need to be $300? You know, yeah, just saying. I mean, at $60 is not expensive though for this. I don't know. Maybe I will. How do you feel about this?
I seen it when I seen the picture. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I was just like, no wonder Super Mario Land and Link. Yeah, y'all picked the two ones because you would think that it would be Tetris, but there's like, no, they would have to license Tetris. So let's pick the other two great games. Actually, I will say this: when looking at the cartridges, I kind of want a pillow of them, like still designed in that Game Boy, like something that you could just lay on.
I'm sure you
Just
can
like,
get a pillow on like Etsy or something.
yeah, because they're just like, this is like a pillow thing. I'm like, this is kind of cool.
I'm surprised there's not more stuff like that these days of like, you know, oh, I remember that game as a cartridge. Oh, it's a pillow? Cool. Let me get that.
Yes.
I don't know. But that's it. That's all we got for news. Let's head into some Pack Watch, Ed.
Pack Watch.
It's time for Pack Watch. Pack Watch,
Yes.
the games you can play on your Switch right now or this week.
Yes.
A lot of games. I would say two major games that people are looking forward to this year, and not AAA games, just major ones that people are looking forward to. On 7/29, Mato Monogatari. That's not how you say it. Monogatari, Fia, and the Wondrous Academy is coming out. An academy with a long storied past and a long name, apparently. Known as a place where the great mage learned and graduated. Students study here to become mages themselves. A girl named Fia, wanting to enroll in the academy, makes a long, arduous journey from her hometown and manages to get in through her own luck. Okay, but what kind of game is it? We all know this one people are looking forward to. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. Welcome home, Hobbit. Live the cozy life of a hobbit in the wonderfully serene landscape of the Shire. Discover, decorate, and share in this idyllic corner of Middle-earth. Join friendly hobbits and familiar faces awaiting your arrival in the Tales of the Shire Lord of the Rings game. So, Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Oh,
But people are just hoping that this game is better than that other Lord of the Rings game.
Oh, Gollum? Game of the Year, yeah. Gollum. You know, where their apology was written by AI.
A mess.
Lord of Ring Gollum. Never forget. Dear Me I Was is coming out. A short tale, a long journey with a beautiful watercolor touch. It depicts the life of a woman in her ordinary and modest life. Experience her joys, her sorrows, her growth. Witness the story she spins in a life woven by those around her. A short and simple interactive adventure. Vivid visuals captured with watercolor and rotoscoping. Memorable theme music and soothing sounds. Those are your bullet points. 7/31, Ed. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Yes.
This game looks cool. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a side-scrolling action video game. In the game, the player assumes control of Kenji Mozo, an aspiring ninja who must protect the Hayabusa village against demons. Kenji wields a katana and excels at melee combat.
And this game is taking place during the first Ninja Gaiden game.
Like the NES game?
Yep.
Or the Xbox game?
The NES game.
Huh.
Actually, it should be doing the NES/arcade game, but the NES and arcade are two separate games.
Time Flies is also coming out. In Time Flies, you're a fly. Your life is short and your bucket list is long. Learn an instrument, read a book, become rich, get drunk, or make someone smile. And if you don't feel like pursuing your goals, you can just relax, clean your wings, and listen to music. Okay. No real big updates out this week. Mario Party Jamboree and Jamboree TV is ready on Nintendo Switch 2. So if you pre-order that, the content is out now. I played some of it. It's fine. It's more Mario Party. So, yeah. Yep. But that's it, Ed. That's all we got.
I know. I think Nintendo Music has some like 28 tracks that they just dropped or something.
28 tracks. I saw such thing.
Yeah, it was just I think like 28 NES tracks or something like that.
Lies. Okay, cool. Well, there's new NES music on Nintendo Music. So go check that out, I guess.
26 old school NES and Famicom games have been added all at once. So,
just you want to run down that list since I didn't see that.
Let me see. Okay, so it is the games. I have to. It's from Donkey Kong Jr., Mahjong, Gomoku Narabe Winju, Mario Brothers Baseball, Donkey Kong Jr. Math, Tennis, Pinball, Wild Gunman, Duck Hunt, Golf, Hogan's Alley, Donkey Kong 3, Devil World, F1 Race, Urban Champion, Clue Clue Land, Excitebike, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Soccer, Wrecking Crew, Stack Up, Gyromite, Mark Raider, and Mark Rider. Mark Rider is it? Yeah. So all of the the Nintendo games that were in the black box on the NES are the ones, and then like Mahjong, Gomoku Narabe Renju, Devil World, and F1 Racing are all the Famicom games. So, yeah, you guys can go check those out.
Nice. Well, I stand corrected, everybody. So go check that out. I think that's it now. Maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't have any questions, so I didn't ask for any though. My social media got all messed up, like my scheduling stuff. Apparently, if you schedule too much on Buffer, it freaks out on you. Even at the paid tiers, which I pay for. So,
yeah, I asked for questions on Blue Sky and Twitter, and I didn't get anything. So,
yeah, we got to do better about that. I'm not pointing fingers at you. I'm just saying, as a team, we got to do better about asking for questions. So yeah, if you have a question, send it to us. We want it.
Yes. So, I don't really got much of a final thought. I think I just want to wait for some more Nintendo news, like a Nintendo Direct or something, before I give a final thought. But nothing really a final thought for me. I think we had some really great discussions, Corey, just about like Xbox and PlayStation and their games and stuff. With the possibility of them coming from to Nintendo. So, yeah. Anything from you?
Not really. Just I have been really busy with stuff this week, and I just want to get back to playing some games. I have a lot to play right now, and it's kind of eating away at me, even though I just want to keep playing old games for some reason. And I know I don't technically have to keep up with the new stuff, but I want to. So I will. But other than that, I don't really have anything.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. If you joined us live, follow or subscribe to the channel you're watching if you haven't done so already. If you're watching us on YouTube later, like the video and leave your comments with your thoughts on today's topics, or leave one of your own we can discuss in a future episode. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review. You can support Boss Rush on Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network at the tier that's right for you. You can even follow for free and gain access to our base shows on one feed. Thank you again for watching and or listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Bye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.